Welcome to another video, the same every time, IGCSE Maths, GCSE Maths, looking at the kind of questions that, apart from the numbers, are the same every time, looking at differentiation and stationary points. So, they tell us in this question, for 2 marks, the equation of a curve is y equals, well, I'll write that down, so y equals x to the power 4 minus 8x squared plus 5. What do they want us to do? Find the derivative. So all sorts of different words in this topic, pretty much meaning the same thing. Derivative is the same as differentiation, telling us to differentiate. They even give us a clue there by saying in brackets dy by dx. So we need to do the differentiation, the dy by dx, multiply by the power. So 4x, then take away 1 from the power. Negative 8 times 2, negative 16, x to the power 1. And just a number on its own will differentiate to make 0. So there's our final answer, actually, for 2 marks, 4x cubed minus 16x. So part B. This is 4 marks. Find the coordinates of the 3 turning points. You must show all your working. Well, by this time, if you've watched all the other videos in this particular series, you will know what to do here. The 3 turning points, as soon as we see these words, turning points or stationary points, that's the clue about what we have to do. Find the differentiation, which I just did, 4x cubed minus 16x. Put it equal to 0, and then we have to solve to find x. So we're solving this equation to find x. Now, do not be tempted to divide by x, simplifying it, cancelling out the x's, anything like that. Never divide by the thing that you want to find. What we need to do with this kind of thing is factorize. So factorizing 4 and 16, highest common factor 4. Look at the letters. X to the power 3, x cubed, x to the power 1. Take out the smallest power of x, which is x to the power 1. 4x times what makes x to the power 3? That's x to the power 2. And then 4x times what makes negative 16x, negative 4. So that's equal to 0. So we have 2 possible solutions here. 4x equals 0, which is going to give us x equals 0. 4 times 0 is 0, so my first x value there is 0. Or the thing in the brackets equals to 0. X squared minus 4 equals 0, gives me x squared equals 4. So x equals square root 4, but be extremely careful, because with this kind of equation we need plus or minus square root 4. Remember, when I square a negative number, it still gives me a positive answer. So square root 4 is 2, so positive 2, negative 2. I'll say it again. Remember, we were solving x squared equals 4, so that has 2 solutions. 2 squared is 4. 2 times 2, negative 2 squared is 4, negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. Now, in the question they're saying find the coordinates of the 3 turning points, so we are also going to need the y values. So to find the y values, I have to go back to the original equation, the very first equation they give us in the question, the y equals equation, and I just substitute in there my various x values. So when x equals 0, y is going to equal, everywhere I see x, I'm going to put 0 instead. 0 to the power 4 minus 8 times 0 squared plus 5. And actually everything there apart from the 5 is 0, isn't it? So that's just going to be equal to 5. So y equals 5 goes with x equals 0. And the next one is when x equals 2. When x equals 2, we must find the y value. So when x equals 2, we must find the y value. And we're just going to put x equals 2 into my y function there. So that's going to give me y equals 2 to the power 4 minus 8 times 2 squared and plus 5. Okay, maybe we could do this without a calculator, but I'm going to use my calculator for this one. 2 to the power 4 minus 8 times 2 squared plus 5, and that's giving me negative 11. Then my final y value would be from x equals negative 2, so y equals negative 2 to the power 4. So y equals negative 2 to the power 4 minus 8 times by negative 2 squared plus the 5. Well, that actually gives me exactly the same y value, so that gives me negative 11 as well. And here we are again, part C. We are in familiar territory. That's what I keep saying, the same every time. Determine which of these turning points is a maximum. As soon as we see the words maximum or minimum, we know what to do. We have to do the second differential. We have to differentiate again. Here's my first differential, 4x cubed minus 16x. My second differential, d2y by dx2, differentiating again, multiply by the 3, that's 12, x squared, and just 16 times x, or negative 16 times x, will differentiate to make negative 16. Now we had turning points at, as I remember, x equals 0, x equals 2, and x equals negative 2. And you should remember that we can find out if they are maximums or minimums by putting those x values into the second differential. And if I get a number which is bigger than 0, positive number, then it's a minimum. If it is less than 0, negative number, it is a maximum. So at x equals 0, well, let's see what happens here. d2y by dx2 equals 12x squared minus 16, so 12 times 0 squared minus 16. Well, 12 times 0 squared is 0, minus 16 is, well, minus 16. So that's a negative, isn't it? So that tells me that there is a maximum at x equals 0. But they do say justify your answer, so I'm going to write down some explanation here. d2y by dx2 is less than 0, so maximum at x equals 0. We should check the others, the x equals 2 and the x equals negative 2, because if we do find any other maximums, then we've probably gone wrong because the question says which one of these turning points. So at x equals 2, let's just check this. d2y by dx2 is going to be 12 times 2 squared, 12 times 2 squared minus 16. 12 times 2 squared, 12 times 4, which is 48, minus 16 gives us 32. So that's a positive number, so no, that would be a minimum. And then when x is negative 2, my writing's getting a bit squashed up here, hopefully you can still follow it. On an exam paper you'd probably have a full page for this. But at x equals negative 2, d2y by dx2 is going to be 12 by negative 2 squared minus 16. Well, negative 2 squared is also positive 4, so that gives us, no, it doesn't, gives us 32, gives us exactly the same answer, and of course that's positive, so that would be a minimum as well. So there we are. I'm not sure how many marks there were for that question, quite a few, little by little, question by question, part by part. Everything there is something that we've seen before, and I've said it before, it is the same every time, apart from the numbers. If the video was useful to you, then please do like and subscribe. I do hope the video was useful to you, and I do hope that watching these videos helps you out, helps you to get just a few more marks on your exams, get yourself into the marks, get yourself into the grades. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back next time with the next video.